This is
Alrighty.
love. Woo. All right. All right, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Over Under. On today, I have an amazing special guest, the one and only Kira. Woo!
Hey, girl.
Let me tell you, she is a kingdom reporter. She helps you to cultivate your brand.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're going to get saved. You coming to Jesus working with
Facts.
her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you coming to the Lord. That's it.
No, facts.
X. So we met in was it 2023 at was it Hush Sisterhood?
Yes.
That's or was it 2022?
Girl, time be running together. I'm gonna just say yes to the year because if I try to pick it out, we're
Evan,
gonna get it
listen.
all. We met in the COVID scene, the COVID era. Let's call it that.
Yeah, it was. Oh yeah, it still was the COVID era. We were still wearing
Call
masks.
2020 to 2025 the COVID era because I'm like, baby, what happened in them years? Yeah, it was 1 year.
It was a.
That was 1 year.
It was a flash. It was a. It was. So let me tell y'all about her. She is amazing. And one thing I love about you since meeting you is I love your transparency and how you'll let the people know, listen, I'm following God and I'm obeying, but I don't feel like it today.
Okay.
I'm learning obedience. Obedience wasn't obedience in the day. Like
Hmm.
this is what we're doing. So prior to us starting this, y'all, we were literally talking about like speaking engagements and like stepping out of the familiar because I truly believe that a lot of times when people see creatives,
Hmm.
especially Christian creatives, that's literally the box they put us in. Like we could be out and about
Yeah.
and just doing grocery shopping. Somebody could be like, "Oh my God, I need to book with you." What?
We ain't here for that.
Right.
Not here for
You
that.
can, right. You can't just
Yeah.
say, "Hey,
Yeah, that
can we,
part.
can we have regular
Yeah.
conversations?" Like, I've been to so many events where people were like, "Oh, if I knew you was here, I would have booked you. Can I just enjoy an event?
Yeah, facts. That part. Yeah.
Can I just enjoy?" But let's talk about calling. Let's just dive right into it. So,
Okay.
how did you know that you were called to this? And were there moments where you were like, God, I don't know, big dog. I
Yeah.
just don't know.
It's all the time. I feel like that. I never feel called. Well, I'm not gonna say I never feel. Backstory. I've always been like taking pictures. So like, I've always had a camera in my hand, even in like elementary school, like type stuff. Like, always been artistic, creative. And then I was a watchman in church, so like I will always just like be up anyway, but like I will always have my camera there, and so like that's how I got into some of the things that I was doing, and got into like marketing through opportunities and things like that. But I had a job in marketing in college, and then when I got out of college, I went to work with kids with autism, and from there, God was leading me to quit my job, and I was like, oh okay, um, like, and I was like, I was like, okay, this is the opportunity of because I don't have, the bills. I'm not living alone or whatever. I could take this time and just try it. We'll do it.
Mhm.
And so he kept leading me that way. And so when he did that, I was doing it like I always saw it as okay. There was a gap that needed to be filled in some services, and so I was like, oh, just try it. I was like, here, they're asking me to do stuff anyway. I'm gonna do it. And so when it came to in the business realm, my calling me in that area, it was never I was so sure about it. It was just like, God, I guess he pushed me almost over there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Carol, I'm calling you to entrepreneurship. And like, entrepreneurship in my immediate family, I was like, what's that? What that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew I was called to be different, but like, what does it look like in that area? So he was teaching me in that. And so through the years, he has groomed me, uh, showed me things. But did I always feel called to it? No. But every time I try to run from it, he would always call me back to it. I was like, oh. So here you need to accept this, and then you
Yeah.
continue to struggle. And I remember I had a prophetic word one time that was like, "You're called to marketplace ministry," and I was like, "Okay," but I remember just like me wanting to be accepted into the church so bad, and like I'm in church and stuff like that, but like I was like I wanted to be recognized in the church. I wanted to be, like I wanted to do the things that I have the desires to do inside of the church. Because I'm like, God, I want to help everything. Also, I wanted validation. I wanted validation not only because validation from God wasn't enough for me. that was
Woo!
it wasn't enough. I wanted validation from people because I see everybody else is doing it. Everybody else is getting validation. Everybody else is getting called. Everybody else is getting chosen. And I'm like, here I am doing the things, trying to make myself known, or I mean, I guess you would say try to make myself known, but try to make myself be obedient to, or follow the protocol that you so called need to follow in churches to be called or be anointed to be these things. And I'm just like, I kept getting skipped over. And God was like, that's because I'm not calling you there. I'm calling you outside of this. I'm calling you outside of the four walls. And so, like, I'm just like, now I'm getting into the accepting the call of like, not only has it's like he's taking me out of everything traditional and putting me over
Yeah.
here and this calling, and it's like I guess I've to answer the question and long story at the end, it's a short one.
Girl,
But
we here.
I I have fought the calling that I've had for years, and
Mhm.
now I'm getting to the point where I'm just like, all right, God, at this point I see, do I is it comfortable? No. Am I called there? Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if they answer your question completely, but that was the journey.
No, you definitely answered it, and that's why I said I love your transparency, because I also believe that this is an area that a lot of Christian creators don't talk about.
Mm,
Is, like you said, when I tell you, you hit it when you talked about validation as a Christian creative in the body of Christ. Because a lot of times, let's be real,
yeah.
if you work in the church and you work in media, a majority of the time you're overlooked. You're you are overlooked. People will see you and they're like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" But I think too, what gets me sometimes is a lot of times you could be overlooked, but the moment that somebody that they idolize recognizes you,
Yeah.
ooh, they
Yeah.
were like, "I knew you could do
You
it. The
know,
Lord showed me."
and it's only for that day, mind you, only for that day. And also, not only do they overlook you, but they will use you. And I had to start um making notice of something because I went through a couple of church transitions. But I said, anytime I go to a church and I notice that the first thing they want me to do is be in the media, I know it's not for me. Because God is calling me so much bigger than that. I had to start taking that into consideration. Because of course, like I'm like, because I'll do that because I'm looking for validation. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, if you want me to use, I'll use it anywhere. Like, of course I'll use my media. Of course I'll photograph. Of course I'll do it, the content, whatever, like that. But then I had to get to a point of like where God was realizing I am a creative. I can do all these things, but usually people who are creators are prophetic. They need to be groomed in other areas, but they don't get called to do that because hey, you're just visuals. And because we want our church to grow, and because we want child, hold on.
talk about it. We here. We here. We here, and this is real.
Okay. But yeah, but because churches want their churches to grow, they only want to use you in that area until they reach success that they're okay with, and then maybe oh yes, and then you like you said, you got somebody that will call out your gift, and or that person that will come in and be like, I want to speak to the creators, I want to speak to the musicians today, and then you're like, oh, I'm finally seen. We
Yeah,
just want to be seen, and that's real. We just want to be seen as like yes, and I think um people think that just because our work is good, we think that we are seen, but it's like that's what we do. But what about who I am? Like I want to be seen for that. And I think creatives we suffer a lot because we're not seen for who we are.
we definitely are. This is, ooh, this is about to get good, y'all. Grab your popcorn, your soda pop, everything. Because I'll never forget, I was having a conversation with my mentor, and it was in reference to like me working in media, but also me, I'm a prophet, intercessor, watchman,
Yeah.
like I'm all those things. And I was telling her, talking to her about like the media aspect, and she literally has been helping me like get to the root of things. And
Hmm.
she reminded me like, yes, that's what you do, but that's not who you are, Jairus. Like,
Yeah.
and when I tell you, like, because I started mentorship with her last year, when I tell you it started to click when she
Mhm.
said that, and
Yeah.
it's like, wow, like everybody doesn't just want to use you for media. Like there are people that are assigned to shepherd you,
Hmm.
to help you see that it's more than just a camera.
Yeah.
and a DJI and a Nikon. Like it's so
Yeah.
much more. Even our phones, like, oof. Keep
Hmm.
going. I just want to be seen.
No facts, you do, you really do, and you'll struggle. And I think sometimes the wilderness and the process, because I feel like I said, prophetic people gonna go through a process in a wilderness season. But I think sometimes you get discouraged in there because you're trying to look for a way out so bad, or like the validation so bad that it can seem hard. It can seem like it's never ending. It seems like it would never happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then sometimes you hit that moment where you like, dang, I met this one person. It's like they sum up everything that I've been feeling at one time. It's like now, okay, and then God just like once that happened, it's like, dang, now your clarity starts coming. You start flowing how you need to flow. You start doing the things you need to do, operate in outside of the church more. Like, yeah,
It hits totally different, and it's even more powerful when the Lord moves you even to the area where you're supposed to produce.
yeah.
I had to move here to produce.
Mm.
Charlotte wasn't
Mm.
gonna do it.
No facts.
It wasn't gonna do it. So
Well, I mean, you did take that big jump of faith. Like I saw it, I was like, all right. Well, everybody asked me like, "Can you stay in Richmond?" Yeah, I feel like I'm called to Richmond. I got something to do in Richmond, so I don't, that's not the mountain movement yet. But but also like not only that, but like even physical movement, but like your mind movement, like you're going to a new
um,
mindset, going to a new church, going to a new things. We like there's new environments that God wants us in that we cannot produce until we are in those things. I always tell people like check your soil. Like if you are not growing, if you are not like if you seeing a whole lot of weeds pop up, it's not something to show that you're not. And I think us as creators, because our work is always critiqued, because we always do things to please, we always feel like we're a problem when things aren't done correctly. So it's like instead of checking our environment and seeing that, oh, the environment I'm in is causing things, it's like, oh, I'm the problem in my environment. And it's like, no, you were meant to grow, you were meant to go. These other things around you just aren't, you aren't in the right place for it to be stewarded well. And so I think it's a heart thing of like looking at ourselves in the way that God wants us to look at ourselves, and not how we think or perceive that. And then it has us thinking like, okay, if we're meant to people please and we feel like we have to be the one to take care of our garden, then where does Jesus come in? And are we? And then we're trying to people please even God, be like, oh God, I'm doing it. You said go to church and do this work, or
yeah.
you said to do this and do this work, and He's like, yeah, you're doing all that, but what about the obedience I told you about? What about the heart check I told you about? And it's like you're used to, I'm not even gonna say you're trying to, you're used to, doing something to make it right. And I'm asking you to come see me to make it right. I'm asking you to go inside to make it right. Yeah. And that's uncomfortable
Come,
because you're not seen. So if you're not seen by humans, how you gonna think you be seen by God?
woman of God.
I'm just saying, it's my journey. I'm just saying.
Woman of God. So when did you? Oh, this is so good. I think I have like 50,000
No
questions. Oh
facts.
my God. So when did you come to like terms with the fact that it's so much, there's so much more to me than just a camera?
Mm, you said come to terms.
Or like, or just be like, God, I surrender. I'm here. Like, I know this is a part of what I do, but I like ministry in the marketplace. Like, how did you know that the shift needed to take place? Like, when you felt the urgency to just.
I think God was giving me seeds. I feel like now He's giving me the urgency. I would say like it's. I think that's why I'm like because
Mm.
I fought it for years, and like now I feel the urgency to do it, and it's I almost feel like it's a late obedience. God's giving me grace for my process because my process was long, but I feel like He always gave me desire. Ministries was always a desire, but because it wasn't looking like
Yeah.
the traditional route for me, I fought it a lot because I was like, no, I want to do it here. I want to help out, or maybe this is how I can add to the body, or and when I say I have an untraditional path, um, I've always been told I was called into ministry, and
Hmm.
for me, like I said, I've always wanted to look traditional. I'm like, oh, do I start a church? Like, what do I do? Like, I know I'm up in age. Well, not up in age, but like, God, when is it going to start? When is it going to happen? Like, I
Yeah.
know people who are called to ministry, they're called to start churches, right? They're called to do these
That's
things. And
good.
so when people were telling me like I was called or like it's time for my ministry to start, I'm just like, well, do I start a church? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, I don't
Girl.
know. I was trying to make, I was doing prayer nights. I was doing stuff like that because I was like, oh, like, but I was seeing it wasn't working. I'm like, so God, how am I called to ministry? How am I doing these things that I feel like should be done or would be done if you were like starting a church or like, building
Yeah.
momentum for that? Like, what, why is it not working? And God was, and we see now, God was saying, you're trying to build something I never told you to build, but because you're trying to look at ways I
Mm.
never told, like you're looking at them for how you should get there when you should be looking at me. But then it came for me and, me, cause not being seen makes you deny yourself a lot. And so I fought with that. And so like every desire that I had to do or the ideas that I had to, do ministry in God and do it this untraditional way, I shut down because I was like, there's no way that it could be happening for me, or like, there's no way that this
Mm.
idea is okay. And then not only is it okay, when I'm seeking validation from God and God doesn't have a verbal voice to tell me, like, I'm like, oh, so if other people don't agree with it, I don't want to do it, or I'll take my time in doing it because it's like,
Yes.
who's going to tell me this is wrong? Because I'm looking for somebody to critique me in it. I'm looking for somebody to tell me that,
Mm.
like this isn't the thing I shouldn't be doing. And so that's what I've been fighting with over the years of like, he's always giving me, I said like in 2023, 2022, around that time, like I had started off with Bible study. He had to break some things off of me. But I
Mm.
started off with Bible study. I started off with prayer nights and did these things. And then I just was like, the last couple of years, he was like, all right, Kara, you ain't about to do nothing but sit there and figured out. So like he stopped business. He stopped me like doing most of my business. I still
Yeah.
had business coming in, but it was different. He stopped business. He stopped the events, and he was just like, "You need to heal. Like let me sit you down so I can like I can show you like you're trying to fight it, but like I'm trying to show you this is Kara. This is what you're called to do. Like beyond the camera, beyond the like even what you think you're supposed to do. Like it's all going
Yeah.
to culminate together, but you're not seeing clearly. So me right now, I'm like feeling the urgency of like God. Okay, now that you've got that clarity, all right, go. Now that you got that clarity, now go.
Th- And this is why I needed the interview. This is why right here, because I also feel like with a lot of us who have, who are either going through or have, made it to the finish line, the sticky middle is where a lot of us unfortunately have just remained stuck, because
Yeah,
it's because of the fact of we've literally placed our whole life into a lens. It's like if God takes that because he wants to prune us, it's like we've lost our identity.
yeah,
It's like, oh well, God don't want me to work in media right now, so what am I supposed to do? Heal.
yeah.
Like
Okay, you've been surviving.
surviving.
You've been surviving. I talk about now like exiting survival mode. Like when everything that you've built up no longer works. Like and you're like, oh wait, I gotta be vulnerable. Oh Lord, I gotta sit with it. Oh God, I gotta handle the questions. Oh God, like it's real because you start off. I think we get a zeal coming to God. We get a zeal doing the
Yeah.
work, and then we run off of that, and then we don't realize that we shift into survival mode when we get into the groove of things, and then God is like, hey, deliverance time.
Right. Deliverance, healing,
Healing time, like yeah, it's
deep work.
real. It's real.
It
It's very
is
real.
it is so so real. Whew. So I know we talked about like validation, but were there moments where you realized that you weren't being invited to the table? And how did that make you question yourself?
Yes, there were moments that I wasn't being invited to the table. From the beginning. From
Girl.
the beginning would still be doing stuff and still didn't want you to succeed or succeed further than them. And it made me question everything that God had told me. I've been telling people lately that I feel like I've been operating under deception. And deception is the enemy. Like that's what the enemy been using from Adam and Eve. You know what I'm saying? Like from the
Yeah.
beginning. But I've been seeing deception and how he has used if he can get me to see myself or get me to see that, hey, you're not invited to the table, so you must not be in, this must not be your calling, this must not be your thing. So he's been deceiving me to make me feel unworthy, make me feel like I don't hear God, all those things. So it made me feel lost. It made me feel shameful. It made me feel unseen. It made me feel I don't know the word I want to use for it, but like I will always say, like I've always felt like I served a God that never like was wanted to use me, but never wanted to do anything for me, or like never wanted me good to come from me, because okay, yeah, God, mind you, my own situations, my own circumstances of like, I did things to try to get the validation of people, but it did make me feel like, okay, if I'm showing up and I'm doing the things, but then when it comes to tables or rooms, I'm not getting invited or told to come in unless I'm serving or doing the things, like, what is it? So I guess God, I'll just continue to serve you without being fulfilled by you. And that was hurting. That was hurting a lot. Um, yeah.
Mm.
And then and then flip that, like that's in the church arena, and then I would get into the business arena where I had this immediate success in business, as far as like people knowing me and like getting work done. And so when I got in those rooms and I was there, I couldn't even see myself as I was, or like as high up as I was, or doing the good work that I was, because of how I saw myself in the other rooms. So it was just like people were like, "Carrie, you're doing great." I'm like, okay, but like it's still not good. Like it's still like, what do you mean it can't be good? Like, and so even the mindset that I had because I wasn't seen in that church area, I even told my therapist, I was like, she was like, cause how, so like when you were doing things and nobody was critiquing you, how did that work for you? And I was like, well, for me, the who and what said things back then, even if they weren't around anymore, I allowed them to critique and mold how I did things in my mind. So even if y'all not there, I'ma still use y'all the way y'all looked at me or the things that y'all would have said, and say, Carrie, well, no, it can't be that. Like, it can't be right. It can't do this. You need to be better. It's not good enough. Even though they said, like, it made me, yeah, just have an obscure view of myself.
Oof. 'Cause, baby, let me tell you something. Even you saying about how even with operating in two different rooms, how even if you were edified, you still struggle to receive
Mm-hmm.
like the the compliment or the praise, or that is so
It's very real.
very real. And even you talking about, because this is another area too, is being honest about where you are in reference to how you feel about God. Like the
Mhm.
fact that you said that, that is, ooh, not you yelling at me.
It's
Okay.
scary. Like I've been walking through it. Like I said, it felt like a sin to feel this way. Like it felt like a sin. I felt like I was just like, I can't view God like this. Like because you always want to see God in this light. We always do, but like it's very real. Like I was just like, yo, and it got to a point was like, my therapist was like, well, do you feel deceived by God? I was like, that's a sin. Like, like in my mind, that's a sinful thought.
Yeah.
Like I can't be deceived by God. God wouldn't do that to
Like,
me. But like, you know what I'm saying? But no, life situations can happen where you feel like, God, I thought you said something, and then in the times when it didn't work, like I did feel deceived by you, even though the enemy was using deception. But like it
yeah.
made it feel like, God, like, yeah, I'm being deceived by you, or
Yes.
God, I'm hurt by you, or God, like I do feel just used by you, and I don't know how to receive anything good from you. Like I will continue doing. I love the Lord with all my heart. I am a woman of faith. Like I was just like, yeah, I'll just continue. Like, and I could pray for everybody else but myself. That was another thing. Like I don't know how to pray for myself. Like I was just like, I would be at home. I learned intercession very young, so like I would always like, God, we thank you, we love you, saying like that.
Yes.
And I even told like somebody, I was like, for a long time in my own personal at home in my room, I would be like, God, we love you, we thank. Who is we? Who is we? Who is we? Or like if I'm praying, I'm like, God, I gotta be praying for somebody else. I'm praying for the whole world. And then when I get to me and what I want, I'm just crying through it because I'm like, I feel guilty for even asking God for anything. It's just weird.
That hit me in the chest because as creatives, all we're used to or have been accustomed to do is to just serve.
Mm-hmm.
So that mindset to just serve, if we're not careful, like, we neglect ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a perfect example, not so much just in the natural, but also in the spirit, because the fact that you was like, God, who is we? And it's
Who
just
is
me and
we?
God.
It's me and him. It was uncomfortable. But it was very hard to even snap out of because I was just like, not only am I saying it out of because I know I'm saying I used to be intercessor, but like it made me have to be like, Kara, this now has to become a you faith. Like a you thing, like God, I love you. Like Kara, you have to address the God, Kara, do you love him? Because when you start saying you love somebody and you mad at them, it hit different. Like if you mad at your mama, but you know you love her, you like, but you know if I say I love you, it's like you have to become a vulnerable a little bit at some point because you're like, dang, I love you, but you really mad. I'm mad at you right now. But like to feel that towards God, it's like a whole different thing. Like I can't. So you try to avoid it. So you just be like, yeah, God, we love you, we thank you,
Right. We love you. We thank you. We adore you. We magnify your name.
yes, and go straight to intercession because like, okay, you know, I'm not gonna talk to you personally for myself. I'm gonna just skip over and talk about the world because I know you'll care for them. Yeah.
Madam. So for a Christian creative, because I always like to hone in on Christian creatives, us believers that follow Jesus Christ, because it's wild that we got to be that specific. Jesus Christ,
Okay.
come on.
Specific.
So how do you? So let's say it's a creative right now watching this. What would you say to them? In reference to them battling in their mind, not wanting to be upfront with God, like how would you encourage them to combat deception? Because it we can be our worst enemy. We really can.
I say feel then feel. And so what I mean by that is like feel your emotions and then fill yourself up with the word of God. Because when you don't, you are left with this robotic Christian person that's God doesn't even ask you to be. And so I always do that. Like I'm like, God, I need a dump. For a long time, me even creating my faith in God or me even building up my things in God was because I started taking my emotions to Him purely. Like, I wouldn't go into prayer time just trying to pray. Like, it was like I went into prayer time, like, crying or journaling and just feeling it all because I was like, I can't move past this. I don't want to move past it. And I don't feel like I'm the right Christian or I'm doing the right thing because I'm not, you know, just getting in my prayer mode or worship mode and not just devoting this time to you. I'm not opening my word first, but I was opening up myself first. And I think that's what God wants us to do. Like, that was good. Shoot. But
That was good.
sometimes we want to open up our word first, and God is like, open up yourself first. Because if you like, and me and my friend was talking about it, like how seeds are when it comes to God, like you know, what I'm saying like how in the word it talks about like the right ground for the seed to go in, and so like if you are opening the word and you're trying to get that seed to grow, how can it when you're not even the right ground? You're not open up. You haven't opened up yourself yet for the seed to be implanted, and so I say like feel your feelings so that you can fill yourself up with the word because yeah, it matters. You matter. You matter. You know what I'm saying? Your feelings matter. But it's a process. It's a process. My time with God, my faith with God, like if I could say the years that I was just in my corner, in my little prayer corner, like just trying, like I was going through the motions, like trying to, like I had a prayer wall, I did the prayer cards, and I didn't know the fruit that would come from it. Like now I can see, like, oh wow, that's how I got my time with God, and yeah, it's a whole nother story, but yeah, but yeah, it's like going to Him. Going to Him, even if it seems routine, even if it seems like discipline don't feel good. And I think discipline of like starting something different is like okay, if I keep coming back to God, and knowing that we don't get an immediate fix, it's hard. But knowing that you have to keep coming back so that He can like the seed is gonna get watered in those seasons, yeah, so
Yeah.
that it can show.
And that's you said a mouthful. Feel and feel.
Yeah, feel and feel, yeah.
that, and it was the fact that you was like, oh wait, that's good.
Yeah, no, 'cause, like the word, like I say that all the time, but like opening yourself up before you open up the word of God, I think, yeah, so He can speak to us a little bit more.
No, that's I feel like you all in my life right now.
It's fine.
Like all in my life, because I was telling a friend this week actually that I've noticed now in my time of prayer, it's not so much me just coming to God about like all the things of how I'm feeling. It's I literally just weep and go up in tongues.
Hmm.
Like I have no other words, even though I know the Lord, He interprets tears, He interprets
Yes.
my heavenly language. But I, for real, I be sitting on my couch playing my intercession playlist, and I be trying to get out words, and next thing you know, I'm just up in tongues for like an hour,
Mm.
like just gone in the heavenly. So even you saying like just us coming to God first, like that makes all the difference,
So
because
yeah,
a lot of times we we neglect ourselves in prayer, and that is
yeah,
wild.
yes.
Like neglecting ourselves in prayer, that is, now that I think about it, that is really wild.
Yeah, we do it all the time. And that's why like sometimes it will come out as journaling first. It will come out in this way
Mhm.
of like just, just being there, sitting there. I tell people like you have to stay with God. You have to stay there long enough so that He can deal with the things. I think sometimes we try to do it quickly. We try to do it in our own strength and like we don't stay there long enough for God to do it. And even if that means you don't go back to God more times so He can actually start dealing with you, because like he might not give you the answer the first 5 minutes. He might not give you the answer the first 5 times you come to Him, but He's trying to open you up, because I think we come with the wall. And one way that I explain it, or that um I've seen an analogy I have, is like learning God as Father. I think He wants us to zone in on that lately.
Girl.
And because I would try to proclaim it before I even felt it. Like I would end my journaling time with God and just be like, your daughter. Like I would try to speak it. Like I don't feel like it, but I'm like your daughter. I would just your daughter care. I'll sign off your daughter care. Just like that's what it was. But lately, God gave me the revelation of when you're an adult trying to meet your father, you come to Him in a very hard way, because it's like, where you been all my life, or you need to fix all my problems. So that's how we come to God. Like, God, I need you. Show me that you care. Show me that you can fix me.
Mhm.
Fix, like, pay my bills. Like, like, help me understand this. And so we come to Him, and He's like, we put our walls up, and so that we don't have to let Him in, because we want to show that we have control. But when you come to God, and that's if you come as an adult to a God or a dad, but if you want a child to know their father, and like say their father was deployed a little bit or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and you're like, oh, this is your dad, like, but you want them to have that openness. So you want them to go on dates with them, dad. You want to be able to spend time with dad. You have to,
Yes.
like, it's a different way that you go up. You don't say, dad, come fix all my problems. You say, dad, come spend time with me. Like, I just want to see you. So like, like that's what you do when you want a child to visit their dad, like, or a child to know that their father cares about them. You're like, just come spend time, just come pick them up, just come do something.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's the God is like that. He's like, girl, just come spend time with me. Just come, right? You know what I'm saying? Come worship. Come, even if it's at church. I think a lot of us even detach ourselves from churches because of the way we feel. So he's like, child, just come spend. It ain't but one day a week. Come on.
Come on, just come.
Yeah.
Ooh. He, I'm gonna say this again. You all in my life right now,
And that's okay. Girl, we in it together. Okay? In it together.
together,
Together.
because that's another area for me. Literally, Father, really seeking the Lord as my Father.
Yeah.
Oh my, I want to cry.
Okay, that's fine
Oh
too.
my God.
I'll cry with you
What?
for real.
Because
Lord.
one thing we gonna do
Keep
is
the tissue
cry.
nearby.
It's
Keep
over
the
there. It's
tissue.
all right. I'll just. But that is so good. Like, I know you lying, bro.
Real line.
Real lie. But like, even even you just talking about us coming to God as a child.
Yeah.
Even the way that we as creatives produce will even hit differently
Mhm.
because we are literally spending time in the secret place.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of people produce in the church
Mhm.
years, but you can tell those who are literally producing from his presence versus performing.
Mhm.
It is it-
It's
it's
different.
it's different.
Different.
And some will be like, well, how could you describe, it's not just being talented to do this, it is literally seeing from heaven's perspective.
Mhm.
Like, and I don't think that's something that can really be explained to, like, oh, the same person shot the same angle
Yeah.
or recorded a video, but it's like, no, it's not the same.
And I think one of the biggest differences I feel like is you you're not comparing yourself when you do create.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like you, I think a lot of times we have, of course, we want to be like somebody, or like we want to shoot like somebody else. We want to get an angle like
yeah,
somebody, like things like that. But like when you know it's good because God told you what you have is good, like it's different. It's completely different, and that's why God is able to do and give you new and creative ideas. Like, and because it's also bumping into like, hey, you, because we're in a people pleasing, creative being is people pleasing. It's like when you take away that you start to say, okay, this idea I have is good. I am going to act on it. I am going
yes,
to do it. You know what I'm saying? You don't second guess the idea, and you're like, well, dang, if I would have tried that. And the moment it passed now, God can't even give you the opportunity again because it passed. But because if you
yeah.
are leaning onto God or spending time with God or having God as your father, it's like, okay, yes, I'm good. Like, oh, my daddy gave me that idea. I know it's going to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. It hit different. So yeah, I can get this different angle, and I can get it, and can see differently because I'm connected.
Ooh, I'm connected.
Yeah.
And from being connected, it literally comes from being honest with God.
Hmm.
You,
The vulnerability suck, man. It sucks. I ain't gonna hold you. It sucks. Cause why?
because why? Because it's like when you really begin to do the work and really come to God and be vulnerable, it's like, it's like it's like taking off clothes. It's like
Hmm.
it's like, okay, God, I was angry at you, or I was upset about, I don't know what somebody did, and God, and in some cases God could be like, okay, forgiveness, but then in some cases it could be like, nah, you caused that, and it's like,
Yeah.
here's another layer,
Hmm.
and it's just like, it's such a, no, it really does suck, it really can,
It really
no,
does.
it does, yeah.
And what came to my mind? I'm not gonna ignore it because I'm like, I can't be speaking about it and not say it.
Talk about it.
Um, what I thought of with the example of like the tree, like people who deal with like deliverance and things like that, they will always say like most of the behaviors and stuff that we see are like the leaves on a tree. Like they're the visible things. They're the things that, like, oh yeah, I'm struggling with this, so I got an attitude and stuff like that. And they're like, okay, them leaves. And then you get to the branches, it's like starting to get connected to you, and then you go down to the roots and stuff like so. Really, you got an attitude because you was raped. Literally, really, you got an attitude
Yeah.
because all these things happen in your life. And so, like, I think when you talk about like the onion and be like, oh, taking the clothes and being peeled
Yes.
off, it's almost like you realize you were focused and we hold ourselves to the standard because of the leaves. And God is like, girl, if you okay, let's get the leaves out the way. That's what he's saying. Like literally peeling back the leaves. Like let's get to the root of it. What's really going on? And I think literally the leaves and the peeling back of the onions is really grace for us because he's like, okay, if the leaves is what's coming getting you to come back, okay, all right, but at some point you got to realize, okay, I'm hurt. And sometimes it happens at the altar, sometimes it happens in therapy, sometimes it happens in your own devotional time with God, like however he might bring it out. But yeah, I don't know, I wanted to bring that analogy in.
I mean, so, you might give me the side eye, but when's your you having an event soon?
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't plan on it. Didn't plan on it.
Pray about it
You know
100%
what I'm
because
saying?
this this is real. Like, this is really an area that a lot of us have not dealt with. Like, and if we know that we needed to do the deep work, we've ran from it.
Yeah. And I've been trying to make this make sense. Well, I mean, so I am starting what's called Biz and Belief, and Biz and Belief is literally business and belief like coming together. How to be
Wow.
a Christian believer and creative and business owner and all the things and like how to do with it. But to me, it didn't feel like this don't make sense. Like even though I was like this is content for me, but this doesn't feel like a calling for me. Like I could talk about it, but it doesn't feel like God. What are you gonna do with it? Like everybody should know this or something like that. Like, but I realized like God calls us for different times, different seasons for different things, and like sometimes we're blowing off things. It's just a content idea what we're really called to do. So yeah, yeah,
Woo.
yeah.
Yes. Woman of God.
Yeah, and it comes up like that because God has to speak to us how we know we're creatives. We're gonna feel like we want to make a creative piece of artwork about it. We're gonna feel like we want to, post something. And it's like you really actually want to do that, but for you, it's just like I'm gonna make a piece of content about it because you don't want to believe that that's what God is actually telling you to do.
Yes. Mm.
That's me. That's me. I'm like I have these desires, God, but I mean it could be content. It could be something small. It's cool. But you over there producing movies for other people. Sit your tail down and work on what God gave you.
It's giving it's giving that black mama face. Sit your behind. No, that's real. Like so. Mm. So even in those moments, like how do you know, like just when it's time to just go ahead and produce the content? Because a lot of times we're sitting on gold.
Yeah,
I mean, sitting on it like I mean, just we're just sitting,
yeah,
and it's like it is really time for us to rise up like crazy because
yeah,
I'm noticing
yeah,
too in the media realm, like we are needed. We are necessary
yeah.
because the only way for a lot of things to be quote unquote seen is by creatives, films, content, graphics. Like everything falls in that.
Yeah.
So it's like when did you know that it was time to even start speaking about like content and media in the marketplace, like just about the marketplace? Like when did you know that it was time? Like I can't just keep looking at the clock being like, God, give me a sign, give me a sign. When did you know that, like, baby, it's time to go?
Okay, so two things. I feel like I'm getting it now. Like I said, I will always go back to
That's
God.
real.
God is like, Kara, stop playing with yourself. And I'm like, Kara, and I also like in myself, like I know that I'm holding myself back, and something I actually want to talk about, and like is my new stuff, or what I'm calling it, is like, Kara, I can't operate like that no more. Like, please go forth so we can,
Mhm.
because it's like it's causing almost like anxiety in me, because I'm like trying to hold myself in. But two things, it would be, I always say, is it for right now or to right now? So like, is it for right now? Like, do I need to do it right now, God, or is it to write down now? But I always think that we start at to write down now. Like, and there's ways that you have to like literally say, God,
Ma'am.
yeah, huh? Yeah.
That was good. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm be quiet.
No, you're good. But no, you have to figure out, is it is it for right now or is it to right now? Because we are multi-passionate people. We want to do a lot of things. We want to put everything out. But I think before, and I had to ask God, I was like, before social media and stuff like that, how was people doing things? You know what I'm saying? Like we were doing things in different arenas, and like we have to realize that God operates in seasons. Like it was a season I was in doing photography, and when I say photography, like I had a series of fine art series. I was doing like shows and things like that. But like that was for a season, and then after that, maybe operating. I was doing praise. People like, oh, you praise dance? I'm like, yeah, I used to praise dance all the time. Like, but that was at church, and so like I was
Yeah.
multi passionate, but it had pockets. So like I would learn that okay, like right now I need to be doing this here, or my season. God is like, your season for your art time is up. Now you need to move it. He moving into entrepreneurship after that time. So like knowing that there's times and seasons that God wants you to do something. And then like I always say like the DNA of a ready idea. So like if you're writing down, so if you're trying to figure out is it for right now or to right now, the DNA is the desire, the need, and then ability. So like the desire is like you have the desire to do it. So like God, I have the desire, I want to do it, this is on my heart. Then the end is like the need. Is there a need in the area? Is there a need in the industry? Is there a need in, whatever that you're looking at for this thing? Like, are people asking about it, whatever? And then ability, and that's where you count the cost. Like, do I have the time? Do I have the money? Do I have these things? And I think we leave out that part. We be like, I got desire to do it. Oh, somebody asked me about this yesterday, and then you be like, yeah, let's do it. And then you forgot about the cost. You forgot about the time that you have to do it. A lot of people start businesses or ministries or whatever they do creatively. Somebody will have the desire, the need, and then and they'll start the business, they'll start the creative things, they'll do the ministry things, and then they realize, oh, marketing. They'll forget about that part. They'll forget about they got to talk about the ideas. They'll forget about they have to do it, and then they'll blame like, oh, nobody came or nobody's doing it, nobody's sharing, and then and I know I have to get into business belief because, child, it makes me mad because like people don't understand audiences. If people in person are telling you, hey, you should be doing an event, and you're like, oh, yes, I'm going to do it. But like, okay, I'm going to start posting flyers on social media and things like that. So social media has nothing to do with the people in person. Those are two different audiences. So like, you need to know, like, people don't count that cost. Like, okay, like, if I do want to start this thing, I do need to think about, okay, do I have enough people in person that could commit to coming or could commit to helping? Because God, I think we do so many things and then we say God didn't. Um, we'll say God told us to do the thing, and then our actions or the way that's developed will make it seem like did God really tell you? And it's because you didn't realize it's for right now or to write down, and you didn't see if there was a DNA, like it was a desire you had to need, but did you count the cost of everything that you need to do? So yeah.
You said a mouthful. So if I needed a notebook, just say that. Like I should have had a notebook and a pen because you've dropped numerous nuggets.
Hey man, but this is what happened when it helped me. Like it helped me a lot. I had to figure it out. And then the crazy thing is the DNA part. That was the crazy thing too. Was that he gave me that when I was speaking in like just a regular business event, and so like. But he was giving me that language for the business belief. Like I was doing an event, like speaking on whole my other regular business, and God was saying like you created it there, and this is me because I was doing something that was still trying to push forth and go forth and in that area. Even though he was calling me out of it, he was still giving me ideas then. But like he's now bringing it back and saying like now you're in the right spot, now you're in the right thing. So like yeah, it's a process, but like he gave it to me in that area. Like yeah.
Baby, this is good to me.
And it works better when you're in the right arena. So like the people that heard it in, they were in the business arena, but like it was like okay, that's cool. But now that I'm talking to people who actually understand or need to hear it, it's clicking so much more. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense so much more.
It makes so much more sense. Seasons, the timing, and just being positioned to receive.
Yeah.
Ugh, girl, you are a gem, a force to
Thank
be
you.
reckoned with. And I
Praise
cannot
God.
wait. I cannot wait ooh, to see all the amazing things God does in 2026 for you. It's the it's the thank you, but
It's surrendering at this point. Just surrendering to God. Yeah, I don't. I'm having to go through what I'm speaking about too. Like I have to accept that there's something good gonna come from it. Like I have to
yes,
get my brain from thinking like I'm just gonna be used and not receive good. So like I am still in that part of just like Kara, we're walking, and so I've been telling myself like Kara, we're about the input, not the outcome. Like that's God. Because that's how because that's what keep us from doing discipline and stuff like that because we keep worrying about when the where the how the who all the other stuff. But if you just worry about what you
yes,
put in, the rest is God. And if it's
literally,
God, you'll be prepared because He's gonna prepare you. He ain't gonna take you nowhere He like led you to. You know what I'm saying? But if you try to
literally.
force yourself in other ways, then you won't be prepared because you be like, oh, I wanted to do this, and it didn't work out the way I wanted to. Trust me, I know that all too well, all too well.
All
So
too well.
yeah,
Yeah, I've been there to throwing myself in places and spaces that my behind was not supposed to be in, and it didn't end well.
okay, and it
Burnt
worked
out.
out. That's all. It worked out. And you be like, oh God. The God is like, bro, I didn't tell you you had to do that. Like that's another thing. That's in my years of business. Like I was telling my friend, I said, like there were some situations that I put myself in because of I was trying to please. I was trying to like um even trying to see myself in another view. People were already seeing me as this person, but I didn't see me as this person. And so I was trying to put myself in rooms, trying to do things to see if I would even get the opportunity. And God is like, girl, yeah, you, of course you would get the opportunity. Like you don't see who you are, but other people do. So yeah, you would get the opportunity. And so, but in me doing that, I tired myself out. I burnt myself out. I burned off foundation. I
Yes.
did all these things. Like I was drained and it was conflicted with my walk with God, even in things that God never called me to. And I'm asking God to make ways or change the outcomes and stuff like that. And I, to somebody who probably needs to hear this, do not take yourself through the people pleasing and all that other stuff, trying to figure out if God has really called you who to be, instead of just agreeing with God who called you to be. Because you're going to be doing all the things, you're going to be burning yourself out because you don't see. So either you need to sit down and be like, God, show me, and then agree with it sooner, or you need to just start operating. You know what I'm saying? In that way, and stop trying to people please or even people please yourself to your next step, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense because my last question would literally be, what would you say to a Christian creative who is navigating a season of finding out who they are, what they're called to do, and just really being obedient? Like,
For them,
mm, or just in the in the marketplace, just in business, but as a believer, yeah, like, because oof,
I would say you need to express yourself more and journal more. You need to write things down more. You need to um get your ideas out of your head.
mm,
You need to put yourself in different rooms. You need to find your triggers of
ooh,
what keeps you from the spirit of God. For me, I will say when I knew I had an emotion that I need to address, I would go and I would scroll. I would just be scrolling on social media. I mean, scrolling, and I'd be like, "Why?" And I would do it just subconsciously. Or I would be helping another friend, just doing it. And I'm like investing all my time and energy in that. And then I would come home and I'd be like, I feel like I was supposed to, like, what's wrong with me? Like, something like that. And I didn't realize that I was using those things to deter me from being at the feet of Jesus. Like, I needed to go to God. I needed to journal. I needed to talk to God. But I would fill it up and be like thinking I'm okay. But I had to realize, I was like, wait, I'm spending too much time on social right now. Wait, I feel like I had to learn myself, and I think that's what we avoid the most. So I have to like learn yourself. And you can only do that by sitting down. You can only do that by
mm,
journaling. I know people say if you gotta doodle and journal, like if you're creative, I think we make it look like if you gotta paint and go to God, if you gotta like however it has
mm,
to look for you to integrate him into your personal space without you feeling like you have to neglect who he created you to be to go to him. Like if you are a painter and you feel like, oh, I really would love to paint a guy, but that doesn't mean I'm opening my Bible and just doing like, baby, if you watching a word online and you just like, I'm gonna just paint,
mm,
like, and that's how you spend time. Like, you need to figure out how you are going to integrate yourself in your time with God. Even if I know you don't want to stay there. Yes, yes, we do want to get to the time where we want to open our Bibles and be able to crack it open,
yeah,
like go deep. But if that's where you got to start at, then that's where you got to start at. And if it looks different for you, then it looks different for you. I know, I'm sorry, it don't look like the coffee shop Bible things and, having a coffee. You know what I'm saying? I know it don't look like that. I know it feels weird when you see your favorite pastor and stuff and like, oh yeah, I'm knocking this word out. I'm heading to the gym and then I'm doing, like it looks like a part of everybody else's routine. It doesn't look like that for you. So I want to say I'm sorry that it don't look that way for you, but like it ain't supposed to look that way for you. So however that needs to happen for you, do that.
yeah.
And as soon as you start opening yourself up, then the rest will happen. What it said, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and then all these other things we added onto you. So yeah,
This is good.
yeah, yeah.
So good. So my last question is, where can the people find you?
Yeah, so I'm now your girl. I can't say it without saying it. It's your girl Carol. So your girl Carol on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, and so I'm on there. And yeah, I'm trying to funnel everything through that platform right now, or that name right now. So yeah,
I love it, and I will make sure to drop it, you know,
yeah, for
drop it in
sure.
the, so people can find you. But thank you so much. This was so good. Like, just thank you for your vulnerability. Because this doesn't happen too often as
Okay.
Christian creatives.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
It don't. Woo! All right, y'all. Another episode down.
This is
I know
good,
this
y'all.
good. This is
It was
good.
good. Make sure y'all
Thank
share
you.
with somebody. Okay, look,
Come on, cause
yeah,
you helping the people.
yeah.
Cause like I said, you was in my business.
Look, and I think it's the season that God is calling us creators to, and you're a part of it.
Yeah,
You're a partner. You're hosting it. You're hosting the conversation. And so, like, yeah, you realize it. You're like, hey, y'all. I think it's a like lift as you climb. Like you're trying to go higher, but you realize, hey, I realize I ain't the only one I need to go up to. So yeah.
that part. Yeah, cause I want us all to go up. We got things to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, God is calling us for such a time as this.
Amen.
I feel Jesus.
Okay.
Woo!
You gonna be shouting like
Girl, cause I love this shout.
week.
Yes, but thank you so much. I pray the Lord's blessings. It's gonna be good. I'm excited for you.
Amen. Thank you, sis.
You're welcome. All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.